Hey Capricorns, welcome to my page. It's Lotus Magic. I'm bringing you your October 2018 Oracle Guidance message. Let me start off by saying happy fall. This is my second favorite season next to spring. I love the colors of fall. They really, because it's getting darker earlier, I really love fall because the colors, the oranges, the reds, the greens, the burgundies, they just add a little brightness to your life before we hit winter time, which is your season, Capricorn. So I'm going to go ahead and get started into the reading. I'm not going to hold you too long. I'm going to go ahead and get started. The theme I'm picking up right now for you, Capricorn, for October is actually really good. I feel like you guys still just need to do some tweaking. So it's kind of like a tweaking kind of time for you guys. Really trying to finalize a lot of things. Finalize a chapter. That's what I'll call it. It's not really a particular situation. I think you guys are just finalizing a chapter of your life, but there's just a few little tweaks here and there that you guys need to make. So keep going, Capricorn. You've come very, very far. Your oracle guidance message comes from the angel of new life. And it says an exciting new chapter in your life is about to unfold. So as we see here, I think you can see it. If you can see here, we have a beautiful woman blooming out of the flowers with the moon shining, and the moon represents emotions. So I feel like emotionally, this is just, you're getting ready to enter a new chapter of your life. Overcoming some hurdles, some setbacks, some things that kind of bothered you emotionally. And you're coming into a new chapter where you're more emotionally stable and balanced. As you can see, we have the rainbow there too. So you're definitely coming in more, you're entering your new chapter more balanced, more stable. You're ready to bloom. We have this flower here is orange, and orange is like the color of vitality and energy. So you're just like restoring your energy. Perhaps you've been low on energy, just low on motivation and things like that. You're coming into a real creative time. Perhaps you're even coming into a time where you're not going to be so emotionally guarded, and you're going to be able to be vulnerable and just allow your emotions to flow. And that's beautiful. Now, when I say that, you guys, though you have this new chapter you're entering, there's still those tweaks. And the oracle message that I'm getting for that part is from the angel of addiction healing. This is a time of positive transformation and healing. So I'm kind of taking this two ways. One, for those that have been dealing with addictions, not necessarily just drugs, but anything that you've been using as a vice to feel those emotions. You've really been working hard on ending those things, but there's still something you're missing. And I feel like what you're missing in terms of what's triggering those addictions to continue is right in front of your eyes. So you really need to pay attention to what's in front of you, the people that you're around, particularly really cleaning house with the people that you have around you, because it's possible excuse me, that though you're making this transformation and it's positive and you're doing a lot of healing, it's possible that what triggers you emotionally is the hardest part of this journey, because It may be people that are close to you that trigger you emotionally, and it's difficult to cut ties with those people, but you need to pay attention because people can be around you and they can sabotage this transformation by continuously triggering those things that set you back emotionally. And if they're not sabotaging it intentionally, they're definitely just a trigger. So you really need to pay attention to what's in front of you right now, because I feel like that's what you need to tweak. Like, you can't heal in the same environment that you got sick in. Okay? So you have to understand that part of this healing process, part of this transformation process, is removing yourself from environments that trigger you into the addictive patterns. Okay, and when I say addictions, we always tend to think about just drugs and alcohol, but it could be food, it could be sex. Addictions can be anything. Anything that you're using to numb the pain, anything that you're using to escape a situation that triggers you emotionally is an addiction. Okay, so you really need to pay attention that and understand that you cannot heal in the same space that you got sick in. You can't heal with the same people who caused you pain. You can't. You're setting yourself up for failure, and you're prolonging the transformation and healing process when you try to do it in the same environment of the place that's causing you all of this grief. Okay, so understand that you're on the verge of a whole new chapter in your life, and as you can see, this person's going alone. Okay, and sometimes we have to start our new chapters alone. You were born by yourself, you're going to die by yourself. So don't ever feel like you're obligated to take anybody with you on this journey. Don't feel obligated to carry the burdens of anyone around you while you're on this journey. You just have to know that you're trying to start something new within yourself, and you can't take the people that are hurting you with you. Okay, you can't try to heal others and do their work and do your work. It's not going to work. Focus on you. Focus on you. Focus on those people around you that are really blocking you from your transformation. And I've seen this card numerous of times, but what's standing out to me right now is the color of her clothing, and it's giving me like the vibe of the throat chakra. So you need to start telling people how you feel. When people trigger you, and this is probably what's going on, someone triggers you, hurts you, and you don't say it. You just hold it in, and then you go into this addictive pattern to numb the pain. Well, instead of holding it in Capricorns, you're very emotionally reserved, so you really don't utilize emotion. And I say utilize because you are the sign of usefulness. If it's not useful, then you tend not to want to deal with it, which means that you guys tend to bottle in your emotions, because in a Capricorn mindset, emotions just aren't useful. But they are useful because emotions allow us to gauge our needs, right? When you're feeling sad, that's a need to heal. That's a need to alert you that something isn't right. Okay, so you need to start speaking your truth when things come about. Start saying no. If other people are influencing this addictive behavior, you're going to have to learn how to say no and be okay with that. You're going to have to be able to look people in the eye and say, this is how you make me feel. Because this is going to help you because you're releasing that energy, okay? Because once someone says something to you and it frustrates you, makes you mad, sad, whatever, it's lowering your vibration, okay? And where you're going, you need to be emotionally stable to prepare for this new chapter. But what's happening is it's lowering your vibration, and then you hold it in, and then instead of processing it and taking that energy and giving it back, you're holding it in, lowering your vibration, and then you just go get a quick fix in whatever way you can. And that's really going to block your transformation. So you really need to focus on who you're around and the people you're around that may be triggering certain emotions that lower your vibration. Okay? Where you need to focus your energy is on abundance. Okay, so that's really like focusing on your heart, focusing on all the love that you have around you. Perhaps people around you that trigger these emotions are making you feel bad about yourself. And what happens is you begin to focus on the lack instead of the abundance. Okay, so this is why it's important for you to start cutting ties and really start limiting the access that people have to you who drain your energy, and limiting your access to people who make you feel bad emotionally about yourself, who make you feel like you're not good enough, who make you feel as if you're a bad person. Really limiting the access these people have to you, because it's making you focus on the lack and not the abundance in your life. You're on the verge of a new chapter, so you have so much goodness going on. Even if you can't fully see it, it's really what's preventing you from seeing it is truly you focusing on the lack and not the abundance. Because if you focused on the abundance, then you would see that you have so much good things, so many good things going on, that you need to stay in that vibration of gratitude for the abundance that you have around you. You need to focus on the people who make you feel like there's an abundance of love when you're with these people, and really keep your vibration high. People who make you feel good. Okay, again, environment is coming up. Again, you need to focus on your environment, which really just reiterates what this card is saying here about watching who's in front of you, watching the people around you. You need to focus on your environment. That's your physical environment, your emotional environment, spiritual environment, just anything that's around you right now. It's really key. And this is the second card that's really focusing on your heart chakra. So I feel like you're dealing with a lot of healing right now from things that have hurt you, but you may also be not really feeling good about yourself. But I don't think it's because, I think it's just an influence of the environment, not really because deep down in your heart you feel that way. I think it's just triggers in the environment that make you feel like you're not good enough. So you really need to pay attention and just hone in on who's around you. Start really paying attention to how you feel when you're around people. When you get around people and they drain your energy, that's your body giving you a signal that these people aren't good for you. When you're eating, if you're eating foods and you don't feel good after, they drain you, you feel tired, your stomach's hurting, pay attention to the responses of your body right now, because that's like your antenna, your energetic antenna, and it's going to alert you to what's around you that's not good for you. So pay attention and follow your heart. And when you come across people who make you feel less than or bad, you need to speak that. Let people know. Hold people accountable for how they make you feel. You also need to focus your energy on completion. And I feel like this is just, again, just giving you the push you need to end anything in your environment that's triggering your addictions. Okay? You're ending a karmic cycle where maybe you've had to learn a lot of lessons. And maybe the lessons have come from people that you deal with. So you've had to learn a lot of lessons, but you're coming to an end to that. The only thing that's going to block that is you. The only thing that's going to block that from coming to an end the way it needs to is you. And that's by not doing the work to remove people that you need to remove. Okay, so you really need to focus on ending and completing the cycles that need to go. Because where you're going, you will attract people who match that vibration. And they're going to bring in that abundance. Okay, instead of holding on to people who remind you of the lack, focus on building relationships and preparing yourself to build relationships with people who remind you of the abundance. Okay? But continue to do the work. You're doing really well. You're pushing and you're doing the work. And like I said, a lot of this is so emotional that it can be difficult for Capricorn when it's time to deal with those emotional issues, because you don't swim in the sea of emotions really well. You're not a good swimmer. But whatever is going on right now, it's like the universe is making you deal with these things because they're actually what's holding you back. Okay? And maybe in the past you've had relationships with people that have really bogged you down emotionally, and instead of dealing with them, you kind of just escaped. When things get too tough, you drink, smoke, sex, eat. You're not dealing with the emotions. You're just tucking them away. But the universe is making you. It's like the universe is like making you step up and deal with it, because you can't take it into your next chapter. Otherwise, you're just going to continuously attract the same situations because you're not healed, and that energy stays in your aura. And then you just continually attract. So the universe needs you to clear this up. So keep going, because it's not for nothing. And you're definitely going to come out of this more emotionally stable on the inside and outside. More so on the inside, because Capricorn is naturally just reserved emotionally. Externally, you guys are very reserved emotionally. And I'm speaking because I have a Capricorn moon. So I'm an emotional person, but I'm not really good for showing my emotions. So I know when I'm talking about Capricorn, I'm just speaking from experience. I have a sister who's Capricorn. So I understand Capricorns to a degree. And I know that you guys just don't do well with showing a lot of emotion. Personal emotion. Like you can express joy for someone else, but especially when it comes to like deep emotions within yourself, it's very difficult for you guys to get those out. So you're really just being asked to keep going because you've been doing the work. You've been doing a good job. Keep it up. Your healing insight message the first one comes from Moldavite. Moldavite is a metamorphosis crystal. And it's really reiterating that you're in a transformation, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially. You're just really in this transformation, and you just need to continue removing the negativity from your life. Any shape, form, or fashion. it's really trying to let you know that you're more than a physical body. And I think it's really trying to tell you that again, because Capricorn, you don't dive in the sea of emotion. So you focus on the physical, keeping yourself physically healthy, physically strong, because you are the worker of the zodiac. You know, you like to work and take care of your family. So, you know, you do what you have to do to keep yourself physically strong so that you're useful. Because remember, um, being useful is your motto. Things must be useful. I must be useful. People have to be useful. The emotion that you're giving and getting has to be useful. But you need to understand that goes past just the physical body. You are an emotional being, a spiritual being, and you need to get harmony on all these levels so that you can really start living your best life. I was going to sing it, but it's late. But really, for real, you need to get yourself balanced emotionally, because you may seem on the outside like everything's okay, but on the inside, everything is not. But understand that energy, that emotion that you're carrying on the inside is the energy that you're really putting out. And that's why it's continuously attracting things that are triggering you, because you're not dealing with it and harmonizing yourself on an emotional and spiritual level. So again, to complete this, you definitely need to tap into a higher power and connect with God. Whatever spirituality, religion, whatever it is you practice, you need to stick to it to keep you motivated to keep going, to help keep you emotionally balanced during this time, and to help you understand that you're not going through all this for nothing, and all of this is ending, and all of this needs to end so that this new life can begin. You can't begin something unless something ends. That's even with life. The death of a star is the birth of a being. There is no life before death, okay? It's death, then life. Chaos before order. In the beginning, there was chaos, and God brought order. Everything starts in the dark. Everything starts in chaos, and then God helps us bring order. So remember to continue to focus on your spirituality during this time, because it's going to help keep you emotionally balanced and stable now and even after you enter this new life. Your second healing insight message comes from the graphic smoky quartz, and this is the stabilizer crystal. And it's saying healing is found in the darkest depths of yourself, not in external forces. So it's really reiterating this need to stop using external forces, stop relying on people, especially those people that are in your environment. Like I said, I feel like many of you are trying to heal yourself, but you're trying to push those that have hurt you to heal with you, and it's just not like that, because maybe in the scheme of your life, that's not their job. Their job was simply to be the trigger in your life, to propel you to continue or start this transformation. It just depends on what you all agreed to sign up for, to be in each other's life before you were born. But you need to focus on stabilizing and healing, and understand that healing requires you to go to the dark. Like I just said, it's dark before light. You're not going to find your light without going through the darkness. Okay? And again, we have the moon here. You know, you've gone through the light, through the dark, and you will soon see the light of a new life. So don't be afraid of the dark. Embrace the darkness. Embrace those feelings. Embrace those emotions. try to understand where they're coming from. And that is paying attention to your body and what triggers you emotionally, what triggers you into eating a lot, what's triggering you into drinking and smoking, what's triggering you to fall back on these addictive patterns to get through these dark days. Because if you continue to do that, you're going to continue to roam through the darkness without ever really getting to your light. And you're almost there, so keep going. All right, Capricorn, if you like a personal reading, you can email me at lotusmagic17@gmail.com. Until November, love and light.